In this video, we're going to go over how to record your sales in a case using the ConnectSx console. So first, log into the console, navigate to your event screen using the left navigation bar, and then find the case that you need to record sales for. So I'll open it up, and we will click Mark Used Inventory, so up here in the right-hand corner. On this next Mark Used Inventory screen, we have a few options. So if you need to, you can add new inventory. So if the inventory that you need is not yet in your account, or someone forgot to create it, this is an option for you. If you're a sales rep or a distributor working with a manufacturer that has a ConnectSx account, they may not want you to do this. So this is something that you should definitely communicate with inventory management about before you're creating this new inventory. But that's an option. Clicking that button just brings up the Create Inventory modal. You also have the option of Scan to Add. So using this option allows you to use different devices or your camera to mark inventory as used. So one scan of a barcode with a corresponding UDI will add one device to the selected inventory here. Then we also have all of these other filters that allow you to search by catalog number, lot. You can select a specific container as a filter. So here in this context, we're talking about trays most often. So, the available containers will show in the drop down here. You can apply that as a filter, and the items that are in that container will show up in the searched filter results. You can also search by whether an item is expiring soon or not expired, only billable inventory, etc. We have a lot of different filters here. One thing that I will point out is if you are a distributor or an admin and you are entering this case on behalf of another user, pay attention to this checkbox. So if it's checked, it will only show the inventory in the custody of the sales rep who was assigned to this case. But if I uncheck it, it will also show distributor inventory that's shared with that sales rep. So here I can see inventory that is in the distributor custody, but is being shared with that rep. So all of this inventory can be selected in the case, as long as it is shared inventory. But utilizing these filters, find the items you're looking for, and then hit select. So as you can see, the selected tab went up by 1. I'm going to select a couple others here, and then I'll go over to my selected inventory tab. So definitely be paying attention to the UDI and the lot, making sure that you are selecting the correct inventory. And then you can also review, how many you've marked. So we have 1 that we've selected out of 2 that are available. And then you can use these plus or minus buttons or type in the quantity that you'd like to use. Click the red X if you need to remove a selection. But if this all looks good and this is the inventory you want to mark, just click next and we'll do a final review. If you need to make any adjustments here, you can, but then click Mark as Used, and this inventory will be added to the Devices Used tab. Now here you'll want to review the inventory that was added, because again, just make sure you're selecting the right thing. But if you have inventory that has a facility contract price that's been entered by your manufacturer, that contract price will automatically populate here, so you won't even have to worry about the price. But if you see this little yellow mark, this warning symbol, that means that there's not a contract price entered for that item. So in that instance, you may want to reach out to your manufacturer or your admin to discuss getting those entered, so that that will not be an issue for you in the future. However, if you need to make an adjustment to the price, click on the little pencil icon for that row, where you can modify status. You can also change that price. You can also decide whether an item is single use or reusable. If an item is single use, it will be decremented from your inventory when the case is closed. If it is marked as reusable, that means it will be added back into your inventory. So you're essentially paying for the use of that item. But most often here, our inventory is going to be single use. And then lastly, you can mark an item no charge if you're sampling it out to that customer or not charging for it for another reason. But review all of these details for all the different items and make sure that everything looks good. Lastly, we have the option to add additional costs or adjustments. So maybe there's a shipping charge or a rental fee. You can add this here. This will show up on the sales order in the invoice so that you can charge for it, but it will not be counted towards sales and commission reporting. Once all of your data looks good, we'll hit submit. So we're submitting it for billing. If you want to launch the replenishment workflow, which we're going to be covering in another video here shortly in this series, you can check this box and it will launch immediately after we complete the signatures. But like I said, we're going to be covering that in a subsequent video, so I'm not going to check that here. Enter your name, do a signature. If you have a hospital representative available, you can enter that here. Otherwise, you can enter their name on their behalf or whatever is appropriate for your company's process. And then hit submit for billing. You can see the status of the case will change from open to pending PO. And the manufacturer will be notified that the case has been closed and that the PO is pending. So the next step will be to come into the More menu and share that sales order form, which we will be covering in the next video. So tune in for that, and we will keep progressing with the case workflow.